So your character is kind of brash, unfiltered, unapologetic. So is it fun for you to kind of get to play the a-hole on screen?
Yeah, it is. Short answer is yes. Usually you come onto a TV show and there's people with suits hovering around the monitors that are really worried about the character's likability and relatability, and it's fun to play a guy that is doesn't have to be likable at all, doesn't really want to be likable, and so I get to kind of flout all those rules.
Do you see any similarities between yourself and the character?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot of me in Loudermilk. There's also a lot of my dad in it. So there's a lot of traits that the two of us share. So a lot of times I'm just making fun of myself, or I'm making fun of my dad, and it's familiar. It feels pretty lived in.
When you read the script, was that something that drew you to the role?
Yeah, I really liked the tone of it. I liked how dark it got at times, but also how goofy it got at times. It kind of runs the gamut, It's not any one particular brand of humor. And because I think we're dealing with kind of serious, quote-unquote serious topics, substance abuse, alcoholism, it somehow grounds it. We can be a little funnier with it, and it doesn't feel frivolous, really, because it's about something that's kind of important.
Season 2 is out, so what can you tease ahead for your character this season?
This season, last season we ended, Sam's life was blown up. He lost his roommate, lost his group, lost his sponsor, lost his ex-wife again, and so he's got to try to put the pieces of his life back together, and he's gonna attack some things, I think, that he's been a little scared to tackle for a long time, like getting back to writing. He's got to come to grips with some family relationships that he's been avoiding for a long time. And basically just get through the day, It's so much of the show is just about a miserable cuss, waking up in the morning miserable and trying to get through the day, taking it out on everybody else. But at the end of the day, if he's managed to stay sober, it's a win.
This character is a little bit different from your other character on A Million Little Things, which basically John is viewed as the perfect guy in his group of friends. So I read that you were filming both of these at the same time. So how did you balance the different characters?
I did Loudermilk Monday through Friday, and I did A Million Little Things on Saturday. And it couldn't be two different characters, really. It's kind of the opposite, but it's related, and I feel like they're about the same thing. It's about somebody waking up, feeling miserable, and what do you do with that, and how do you try to make yourself feel better by the end of the day. Loudermilk just sort of puts all the miserable out on the outside, and I think there's something about John that for whatever reason he had to cover it up with, with this kind of show for everybody. So it's kind of fun to explore that. I love the presence that the character has on the show, even in the moments when I'm not in the scene. It's one of the, it's a character that I probably play 40% of them, and 60% of them is played by the memories and the stories and the relationships of the other actors in the ensemble. So that's a lot of fun.
This show has kind of been getting a lot of comparisons to This Is Us. Like, what do you think about those comparisons?
I always love being compared to a well-received hit. If you compared us to something terrible that got canceled right away, I wouldn't feel as good about it. I think what that speaks to actually is that there's an area that for a long time there haven't been any shows like this. And I think last year there was kind of one in this kind of realm, and now there's two, and I don't even think the shows are that similar, but I think they kind of occupy a little bit of the same space. So when people look for something to compare it to, they go to This Is Us, and I think that's a huge compliment.